right behaviors to make better, faster decisions and achieve business results? Can you judge people by finding their best talents based on facts and observations and match them with a job? Are you molding a team by getting highly competent leaders to submerge their egos and coordinate seamlessly? Do you know how to develop goals by balancing what the business can become with what it can realistically achieve, not merely looking in the rearview mirror and making incremental adjustments to what's been done before? Can you set laser-sharp priorities by defining the specific tasks that align resources, actions, and energy to accomplish the goals? Can you deal with forces beyond the market by creatively and positively responding to societal pressures you don't control but that significantly impact your business? Command of these know-hows enables you to diagnose any situation and take appropriate action, lifting you out of your comfort zone of expertise by developing skills that prepare you to do what the situation requires, not just what you've traditionally been good at. The know-hows do not, however, stand alone. There are a million things that can block human beings from making sound judgments and taking effective action. That's where personal traits, psychology, and emotions enter the leadership picture. But instead of trying to define and adopt the ideal set of personal traits, it's more useful to focus on a simple question. How do your personal psychology and cognitive abilities affect the way you cultivate and use the know-hows? For example, the know-how of detecting the patterns of external change might be affected by your ability to connect the dots, and whether at heart you are an optimist or pessimist. Know-how is about what you must both do and be to lead your business in what is shaping up to be the most challenging business environment in decades. It plants business leadership squarely on a foundation of profit and loss, capital utilization, resource allocation, productivity, and customer satisfaction, while never losing sight of the fact that leaders are human beings. Let me illustrate the difference between having know-how, the real substance of leadership, or not, using two situations I personally observed. I've disguised the executives and the companies, but they are true stories that I witnessed. The stories center on two CEOs, Nick and Bill. Nick had all the traits commonly associated with leadership in abundance. He had an incredibly facile mind and high energy. He was highly articulate and decisive, and had the charm to make you feel like you're the only one in the room. He was a financial wizard and an inspirational leader. Bill had many of those traits too, but he also had the know-how to go with them. Their stories are very different. Nick. The board of the company Nick joined was worried. The company had for many decades been number one in its industry in America. But 10 years previously, it had been eclipsed by a competitor that had grown by leaps and bounds and had displaced it as the industry leader by a wide margin. The company had been losing market share to its growing rival for two main reasons. One was customer dissatisfaction and defection. The second was operational problems resulting in higher costs and negative cash flow. The two previous CEOs had failed miserably. Now the board was trying again. The best headhunter in the business was on the case, armed with a meticulously prepared list of the criteria a candidate would have to meet. This time, the board was determined to get it right. When Nick interviewed for the job, the board's search committee recognized him as the company's savior. He was extremely quick on his feet and accomplished, and he had a commanding presence and was a great communicator. He had progressed swiftly through the ranks in his previous job, yet was humble and sincere. He had risen through finance and willingly admitted, when a board member asked, that it would be a stretch to learn operations and logistics, both of which were crucial to the business, and he promised to surround himself with top talent in those areas. At age 44, Nick was energetic and fit. He also radiated an emotional